Good morning and welcome to the Carnage Community Breakfast Show today, 18th January 2022. I am your host, Zipporah Mshala, here with my co-host, Alex Shimba. Alex, how are you doing today?
Hi, good morning, Zipporah. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. So today we're expecting a very interesting topic. In the first segment, we're going to be discussing GBV issues in Zambia. Yesterday we saw a story where GBV resulted into a murder case in Ngombe compound. Then I'm later going to be talking about mental health with a medical doctor, Dr. Teddy Mlinga. How well do Zambians know about mental health? Because we've seen that in many instances, people in their old age are often accused of being witches. And Alex, what are your expectations of today's show?
Yeah, and just like you mentioned, it's a well-packaged program, and you're going to see a lot of insight coming from the doctor, obviously. And in the first segment, we just take a closer look in GBV issues that are quite rampant in our days today. So we just discuss, and lines will be open for our viewers out there to actually contribute and ask questions so that we can interact in that manner. So it's going to be awesome, and I'm expectant.
And just to wake up our viewers out there, join us in the morning boost, exercise along with us as we get ready to start a productive Tuesday. We'll now have the morning boost.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Boost, and this is Isaac Matsa. I hope you had a great night, and let's do the workout together. So today is going to be very basic, and if you've noticed, there have been some 25 push-ups going around social media, some people accepting the challenge. We're going to do 25 push-ups as well, but in our own special way. Let's do a warm-up now. Let's go. We're going to do a warm-up, and then later on we're going to do the push-ups. So let's do a warm-up quickly. A warm-up phase. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you had a great night. Wake up your kids. Let's do it together. Let's do a warm-up, marching. Then we're going to do push-ups. Let's go. Keep going. And back to marching. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. 25 push-ups we're going to do today. Tell your hubby it's doable. Tell your wife it's doable. Let's go. Easy jumping. Just like that. Stay at it. All right. Okay, I guess your body should be warm by now. Your breathing rate has to change if you did the right way. 25 push-ups. I'm going to break it down in 5 fives, okay? So let's go. The first push-ups. Very easy. You kneel down, cross your legs, and go down. 5 of them, very easy. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first set. We've got 20 more to go. Let's go. Second push-up. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 more to go. That's 10. We're doing a 25 push-up challenge. I'm going to change now. 5 more. 5. Go. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. So that's 20. If you noticed, I did double. 5 more to go. Last 5. Then we're done with the push-up. Okay. Here you go. 5 only. Go down with a tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's the challenge you had today. 25 push-ups, and let's start winding now. March, march, march. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the push-ups. This is Isaac Maxa signing out. I'm gonna see you next time. Thank you.
I hope you had a wonderful stretch there alongside us here in the studio. And we now have our sports reporter, Blessings Chakwila. Blessings, welcome to the show and good morning.
Good morning, Sephora. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Good morning, viewers.
Did you have a good exercise this morning as well? Or being a sports reporter, did you have a good exercise this morning? Either at home or here, did you have?
At home, I did have.
For how many minutes?
30 minutes.
Did you run like you wanted or because of the rain?
No, I was jogging, except that at some point I was interrupted by the rains, but I still exercised.
At least you did something. Zipporah, did you?
I did actually.
I always doubt that. Seriously, I
You
always
guys did something.
No, I always
relied on the morning boost.
I always doubt you guys relying on the morning boost because
Yes. The good part is productive.
it is.
Yeah, there is result in the morning boost. That's why we encourage our viewers out there to actually take advantage of that.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what interesting thing do you have today on the sports desk?
Thank you, Sephora. So today's update is still on the AFCON. Apparently, your team is doing fine, Alex, I must say.
I told you.
Yes, that's Cameroon.
Tonight. Yeah?
Yes, you're playing last night against Cape Verde, and you scored 1 goal. Even though your opponents also scored 1 goal. But then when we look at the group stages, you're actually leading by 7 points. So you guys are really doing fine.
That's a good success. Like
You're really doing fine.
I'm glad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're really doing fine.
In Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe, Sephora, it's playing today. So I don't know which one you are supporting. Zimbabwe is playing today. Malawi is also playing today.
I think I'd rather support Zimbabwe. I don't know much about Malawi except for the president. At least I know a lot of things about Zimbabwe.
But at least you speak Nyanja or Chewa, so you should
it's
feel
closer to...
Yeah,
exactly.
It's easy to actually...
Exactly. So yesterday we witnessed, like I said, Group A teams having played yesterday, of which each team scored at least 1 goal. Then apparently, Alex, your team, that is Cameroon, you are leading, and your captain, I must say, is doing so well.
The number Abubakar is...
Yes. He's doing so well.
That guy is really something.
But then there's one thing I always wonder about him is his age.
Does he look beyond 35?
Have you seen his face?
How old is he? Yeah, like according to
So
what you know?
that being said, as a sports reporter, maybe is it something that you can maybe push for in terms of doing news? Should some of these football players be actually subjected to what you call that thing whereby they check the age, your age based on your bones? Should they be subjected to that? To make sure?
I should think so, because I can actually go and say I'm 12 years old. I can actually go and say I'm 12 years old.
It can be
the implication of that, a lot of players actually are going to be dropped because...
No, they have to be dropped if they don't qualify.
No, but who are we going to have in terms
Do
of...
we have the young ones
Like,
who are
let's
coming
say,
up?
Blessing, we have Abubakar like dropped because he's
Because
past
of
the...
his-
Yeah. Who's going
That's
to
something
score?
you should take interest in actually with experts. Should they actually be
It's not
subjecting
necessary.
players?
But then I feel or think, Alex, they do exaggerate.
Yes,
Do
that's a well-known
exaggerate.
fact. It's not just in Africa, you guys.
It's
also
everywhere.
Even in foreign
I've
countries.
seen
everywhere.
where even our own Kenyan players, when someone says happy 22nd birthday, and then people say, just say happy birthday without mentioning ages, we make a scene.
Yeah.
So they do exaggerate most times. So now, according to the Group A standings, Alex, we have Cameroon that is having 7 points, like I said. Burkina Faso at 4 points. Cape Verde, on the other hand, at 4 points. Ethiopia has only 1 point in the group, that is Group A. And then when we look at the fixtures for today, where we see Zambia playing double, that is Malawi and Zimbabwe. We are going to see Group B and Group C.
Also, you are replacing Malawi and Zimbabwe.
I mean, I'm mixing them up because I don't know where to fall and which one to pick.
But
they are both
sister
countries. A lot are going for Malawi.
Yeah.
Okay. So Malawi will face Senegal today, and Zimbabwe will face Guinea, while Gabon, on the other hand, who are in Group C, will face Morocco. So that is, we should look forward to today's matches. That is what we are going to see today.
Great. And when are we starting the, no, is it not the knockouts?
The knockouts, I should say it's today.
After this conclusion of the group
Yesterday concluded the group stages.
Okay.
Cameroon concluded the group stages. So today we are starting the knockouts.
Wow, this is the sad part about the tournament, because you're having your favorites going sometimes, and you are just left with less options, especially for us as Zambians who don't even have our own team there.
Exactly.
So you find that Zimbabwe has gone,
Malawi has gone. You stick to Cameroon.
Cameroon has gone, and then you start going for Egypt.
You can, I mean, Jesus once went to Egypt, so.
Wow, what a reference. Are we having anything else?
No, that's all I planned for you today.
Well, great. Thank you so much for that update, Ms. Blessings Chakwila. We appreciate your effort in terms of updating us and the viewers out there, those who are actually football lovers. And that was it for the sports update. We'll go straight into our money market. In the close of yesterday, that was the 17th of January 2022, and we have in the United States dollars buying at 17 kwacha 0.06 ngwe, selling at 17 kwacha 0.39 ngwe. The euro buying at 18 kwacha 0.89 ngwe and selling at 19 kwacha 0.26 ngwe. The British pound buying at 23.28 ngwe and selling at 23.7 ngwe. Obviously the Zambian kwacha is 1 to 1. Actually, it's different today, Zipporah. So Zambian kwacha is actually buying at 1.11 ngwe and selling at 0.13 ngwe. So there's a difference.
But yesterday we saw the dollar buying at 16 kwacha. And then today selling at 17, but today it's buying 17, selling 17. Which means those with money in dollars are now going to have a fat account in Zambian kwacha.
Wow.
Which means, do we see it going further? We've seen different economists expressing hope that by December of this year, actually, we'll have it at 10 kwacha per dollar.
Let's not just reach 20 kwacha. I mean, we've been there before, and we wouldn't want to step there. So let's just maintain key or drop. What do you think? So 16, 15 will be better. So that was it for the money market. In case you're going out for any business adventures, this is how the money market looks like, and it will actually assist your planning and businesses out there. And we'll just get straight to headlines, zooming headlines, stories that we did in last bulletin. We just get to review one of them, Zipporah, to do with the residents from Chunga compound, that is under Matero constituency, who had an issue of water spillage along their roads, just near the plant, you know, the water and sanitation.
The Chunga treatment plant.
Yes, where they do the water treatment. And they affected really badly. I was there on the ground and just interacting with these residents who haven't had water for about 3 months now, and the situation has been the same. And due to this spillage, they haven't even had chance to access public transport, because minibuses and other forms of transport can't reach.
They're refusing to go there.
Yes, because the roads are bad.
And you know, one thing I found disturbing on Wednesday yesterday is that these people are using this water to wash dishes.
Exactly.
And to wash their clothes from the sewer spillage. Like, how does that work?
Okay, they are just trying the point that, okay, this water is clean because...
No, it's not clean, it's sewer water.
It's not sewer. For the record, that water was meant to connect the residents from those houses. Now, the argument is it might be contaminated. Because
it's coming out from the manholes?
Yes. Because the manholes are quite treated, it's clean water, you know.
I actually thought that was sewer water.
It's coming out, you see.
The first instance, like when you just get there, what comes in your mind first is this is.
But how come? Why do they get it from those tanks? Those you know how a sewer tank is? Those household tanks, and then it's spilling out, and then they're getting it from there. Isn't that sewer water, Alex? Is that meant for household use from a
yeah, because their pipes, they are water pipes.
So it's mixed.
The design was to put to connect them to the main water pipe from the Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company. So they embarked on that project to, using this Chinese company, which actually abandoned, they say, the project. So in a way, it's just, it could be a pipe burst, and then the water start coming out. But the manuals were meant for clean water, not necessarily for, not necessarily for the soap. That's where the debate comes in, because now the water is...
and just the way it looks, how can you get water from a manhole kind of arrangement? That just clicks in your mind.
Because we are used to
that's a manhole
meant for the soil.
That's a manhole kind of arrangement, and they're putting the buckets from the spillage. Like.
Can you imagine? And actually the kids were bathing. I saw them doing the swimming. They're excited and everything. But before we just discuss a bit further with this story, let's just take a look at the story.
Tafire moneka bwino efima suwa kula nefime nshifyonse tafire moneka bwino kano mwasange echitumbi ero mukaposa kwa mano mfitumbi fyena mulesa very fast nomba fifini msoboso tafire moneka bwino emisebu.
They have endured this water spillage problem for over 3 months now. Residents of Lusaka's Chunga compound Matero constituency are concerned that if the situation remains unchecked, residents, especially the children who swim in this water, will be prone to various waterborne diseases.
Mwana sila mena watiwachani wapanga gijakuja abasya vimanzi manje vikungo taika chabe baenda so chabe road siri bwino kuno kwatu kuja kumanda tavutika na bana then anasha chevi muganda kuja kapita mamoto kaya jomba every time so mtianga nepo tapapa tashuwa
abantu bente na project yo ikama pipe many sewer pipe hivi last year chunga yonse banayika bagendo sikakonse kuja ku Euro Stadium konse banayika so pamene banayika manje mu road umo banabwa bashika after bashika kunapita almost 3 months ambia mse mu October maendi ya October ndiye pamene manje tinabwa manje tamba kuona ati manzi yamba kuchoka manje manzi zipensi manzi yachoka manje uchokera pansi yachokera muri yakuti abantu mamene tionera manzi yankala wasted because mteze kati benangu balibe na manzi ngati amanzi ni clean. There is need ubo seven zirabu because kuli bantu benangu balibe manzi yakula chabwanji yokuma whereby manzi yankala chabe wastage yaenda na kuenda.
This has become a reliable source of water for domestic use in this compound, which poses a health hazard to residents. Furthermore, it is a reason why they cannot access public transport, owing to the fact that motorists have a challenge of reaching this far from the main road. Community members have since taken an initiative to work on the roads themselves.
So mchosa kuti material.
Material yagula sheno wamozo anasipeleka ndiye wanashitamunga bagula ko gula ko tumyala nya
na beve ni wa community member che.
They have since called on the water utility company to address the situation as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company Public Relation Officer Shamba Muzungu has responded, saying the company will study the situation and ensure that it is worked on in the quickest possible time.
Well, first and foremost, we would like to say that there is no construction works which have been abandoned in Chunga compound. In Chunga compound, we are implementing a project to improve water supply in the area, and that project is going on smoothly, and we've made remarkable progress in the area so that we can improve water supply to the people of Chunga compound. With regards to the water, spillage which has been reported there, I think it's something that we've taken interest. We've noted that, and we'll investigate the matter to establish where the problem could be coming from, so that it can be immediately rectified and restore the situation.
It is the hope of the residents that they receive the needed attention and be given proper water supply and roads be restored. Alex Chimba, Kamne News in Lusaka.
You are welcome to this breakfast show. In case you are just joining us, you are not actually too much late. Can you say they are late?
They're not really late. Actually, we'd like their contributions as we delve into our first segment.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about GBV issues, murder. But then for now, Alex, let's delve a little more into a story in Chunga. Let me tell you my experience since I went there with you. Yeah, my community, what do you call it? Your community escorts. When you go, I escort you, and I go, I escort you.
Yes.
So when I went there, let me tell you my experience. That area, when you go there, it has got this kind of smell, like fecal matter smell. It has got flies, if you remember, and when our colleagues also wanted to get out of that place quickly because it was smelling bad. So how's the arrangement really in terms of sanitation in that area? Apart from the water, what else?
Yeah, so the background of Chunga compound is where they do the water utility company does the treatment of both the sewer and the water treatment. So you find that the sewer are quite close to that place, and hence maybe that could justify the smell.
Okay, and the ground looks green. That's government farms, not the whole Chunga, but government farms where we went.
Yes.
The ground was green. I was asking actually where the driver we were with yesterday was saying, what's this on the ground? Because here are just flies everywhere. Can we get out of here as quickly as possible? So the whole place is very unconducive. Yeah. And then
especially the
graveyard side.
The graveyard side where we were, that's close to the treatment. So we expect that.
And are those places legal? Are the places legal?
That's another story. But
there's some talk saying which have encroached on the graveyard.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why they're not giving them some of those facilities. Maybe that's something that you have to find out from the council.
Yes, they are not accessing water, for instance, because they could be falling in an unplanned settlement, just like other places.
Yes.
So, but one of the comments that were done by residents is the issue of abandoning the project. But when I reached out to Mr. Mzungu, he actually said there is no works that are abandoned. So we are yet to establish
maybe there are no works which began in the first place.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's, we'll find out if it's legal. Maybe they just did their own connections. Who knows? We are yet to find out from the relevant authorities.
Yeah. But you know, when you're doing these stories, each side of a story sounds very authentic. And you might believe, especially for the first instance, you do this side, you get their views and everything, you feel like, this is what it is. But when you get to the other side, the other person is also giving, just objecting to the previous view, you find that, so what is going on? This person is saying the company actually abandoned the project, hence the spillage and everything. But the company is saying no project has been, abandoned. So they are looking into the matter as things stand, and they will establish what's going on and settle the situation from that end. Hope the best for the residents to actually restore the roads and also the water situation in that area. Yeah, basically that's for Chunga compound.
Yeah, and then now we'll dive into our first segment of the interview, the murder case in Ngombe compound, the case that I covered. And that story actually gave me goosebumps. Alex, if you remember yesterday when we went to Ngombe, like just the way everything happened, I'm told the man, I was told by the neighbors who live right next door to the same house where it happened, the one-roomed house. So they're saying the man was actually caught. They had not seen the same family for about 2 days. So they thought, maybe they come back in the night, maybe they go out and all that. But then they're saying the man just called the landlord, saying, I'm not feeling well, come and see me, which I found to be very weird, because how do you tell someone, come and see me? I'm not If you just tell someone that I'm sick, then they'll decide on their own.
Oh, yeah.
So he was emphasizing that they
go inviting them to come through
into the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I'm told the landlord sent his son to go and check on him, and when he went inside the house, he found someone sleeping on the bed, someone stiff on the bed with a blanket covered. Then they were not saying the man who called us has actually died. It seems he was very sick, that's why he called us urgently. And they called other people, and they went to uncover, they found it's actually a woman and not the man, and the man was nowhere to be seen. So anyway, before we delve too much into that story, we'll take a look briefly and be back to discuss it. When you come back, the phone lines will be open, and we are hoping for your contributions from you viewers on the issues of GBV. How far should someone take it before they take action? Should it even lead to death? We'll take a look at that story and expect your contributions when you get back. Some residents of Ngombe compound in Lusaka bypass this house on a daily basis while going about their business, not knowing that it has been housing a corpse for about 2 days, while others lived right next door. This is Ngombe Ward 3, where the decomposing body of a woman was discovered by neighbors at around 11 hours Monday morning. They narrate that the woman, who is suspected to be in her mid-20s and works as a maid, has been living in this house with her boyfriend who does not work and is known to be over-controlling. They explained that one of the neighbors was called by the said man, alleging that he was sick and needed to be checked on. They however state that upon entering the house, they discovered the body covered in blankets, which they mistook to be the man due to the phone call, only to discover that it was the decomposing body of his girlfriend, while the man was nowhere to be seen.
So balando di kwa sita tumakoni tumina mwaichwa sana neta kako kunganda kuri yo wikara muri wanu monastery mpawe so for guys batisa ingira mu so ile batisa ingira batisa sanga na fimbana twatisa mu so ina twachira mu kwati ni mwangu me uri awini guys so twatisa macha na form guys mungando so twatisa ma mane na muna chani twatisa kukira huti naona mwana kashu yo kweli so what is that makutunata oh ile mwana kashi so what is that na police what is that
aba bakazi nizibana nao ne babatu so basata dinaona nao nakomboka kunchito na hivyo komboka kunchito so na dabo futi naenda kunchito lero na pesa ti kuli mundu wakufa kuja kuseni pesa tini baja bakazi chaipa bazimuna baliko lero nsajizana ali nazo uja bamuna timziba apa mkazi wake chifukwa cha nsanje olwa nyamuka kungena mu shop within 5 minutes abo menyewa niso afuna ka paliposa bewa chape babiri
abataba notaba kuchoka pasata adia kubwa kumuona lero pamande pakaonongeka so ina nipe mpako che boma kulikonso kwa mena aliri uyu mwamuna ataba bamugwire elo manje bamugwire bakamugwira bamusenzerepo chirango wampase maningi ndabamuna madeziano bambo paya bazimai
pasata de usiku mwana wanga pasande ati abaho mavutana lero so bazipa minute nawo kwa kudoko enze kokoma so kapenda wanampa pasata de ya meja de pamene kwenze chongo so kuseni lero pamande nje panitaza kuti muri muntu okufa mu nyumba mbati chamira ati tamali mamuna ncho ipa sana chabwi
baba mimi vashitika sibina kondwerese ngani yopayana challenge malengesa ine challenge maonapo nsanje zikapitirira malire ndemo hivi mapezekera soche.
Meanwhile, Women for Change Executive Director Ms. Lumba Sianga has raised concern at the escalating levels of gender-based violence, GBV, in the community.
And also neighbors should be on the lookout. If people are always fighting and you just keep quiet till when there's a death reported, I think neighbors can do something to prevent someone from losing their life. Let's engage our neighbors, those we hear screaming at night, or we hear them complaining as we are fetching water, as we are going to the bus stations or bus stops. We hear all kinds of complaints. I think let's not just ignore these complaints.
By broadcast time, the body was being carried away by the police while the man is said to be on the run. An official statement on the matter had not yet been received from the Zambia police by broadcast time. Zipporah Mshala, Canet News, Lusaka. A sad story there from Ngombe compound, which actually led to murder. And the thing that actually irks me the most is that he kept the body in the house for about 2 days. I wonder what he was planning. Do you think he was staying in that house with the body, then decided, let me go out and call? What do you think happened?
I don't think he was staying with the body, but he just didn't have any option. Like you reach at a point.
So you think he killed and ran away?
Yes, for me that's the case. Where you have a fight then you kill a person and
you run away.
You run.
Maybe expect people to call you, they don't call you, they don't discover anything.
Yes.
Then you find out the plan of making them discover the body.
Yeah, before it's too late. I mean, he killed allegedly on Saturday.
On Saturday. Because the neighbors were saying, if you heard from the story, they were saying Friday night they heard a lot of noise. A lot of noise in the house, so that could have probably escalated till the morning and all that. So they suspect, according to them, I'm sure they can calculate. So according to them, they're saying it should have happened on Saturday.
So Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Around 11 hours, it decides to call. He decides to call.
Wow.
And we're told he's still on the run by the residents. We're told he's still on the run. Anyway, we're yet to get a formal police statement from the police because I said they're still trying to get the details on the matter. And so right now, we're just going to open our phone lines to our viewers out there. Let us know your thoughts on GBV issues. As you can see there, we still have serious cases of GBV in the community. This has actually resulted into murder. At what point do you think neighbors should act? If we heard from the Women for Change Executive Director, she was saying neighbors should look out for others to make sure that if you see that something is wrong, make sure you intervene before it's too late. Most times people just say, okay, we don't want to interfere in someone's relationship, but you have seen how it has ended up. So we expect your calls on GBV in the community. What do you think should be done to combat GBV?
Exactly, because if you keep quiet, you're actually losing one person at the end of the day. So whenever you see like there's disturbances in a certain house or a couple having issues to do with the fighting and then you've noticed as a neighbor, take the interest actually to report or just inform other people so that if anything, you can even interfere. I don't know if it's allowed when you hear the noise. Okay,
you go and knock.
You knock. A loud knock so that you can actually disturb the argument, whichever reason, and you mediate to see what caused that. So basically, we're just looking at that. And what would be your view really on what causes these cases of GBV? You can have your own experience or experiences of your neighbors, as it were. You can contribute, and also we get interacting in these studios on that issue. So actually, like you said, the Women for Change made a call to neighbors to actually be active. So the issue is how best. And
even themselves, the couples, if you see that maybe your partner is abusing you, she actually said, go to the church and report. Let them know what's happening. Then they'll know the step to take. They'll not advise to give you, go to the police or just something like that. Don't just keep quiet and say, okay, to end, to never end.
But is it really easy to come out of an abusive relationship? When you've been there, maybe say 3 years and beyond, you've known this person. They are not really bad, but they are...
Oh, we have a caller, Alex.
Morning, you're through to our studios, morning breakfast show on Camnet TV. Your contribution and your name.
Can you reduce the volume?
Okay, you just turn down the volume from your TV.
I'm actually in the back because there's no TV in here.
Oh, so it's actually people.
Background noise. Okay, you can go ahead. We're able to get you.
Okay, thank you. Well, I was listening to your conversation in the morning and the soccer analyst who is on the panel there.
Yes.
Yes, there are not mislead people. Yesterday, those were the first group stages that we concluded. Today, group stages are still going on. So we are not starting the knockout. The knockout will start until Tunisia, the conservation game where Afghanistan was decided over. Until they play their last game, that's when the knockout will start thereafter. So we still have more games to play. So please, let your analysts double check their information before they present anything on the television.
Okay, we apologize for that, sir. I'm sure we'll work on it. I would also like your contributions to the show if you are listening in terms of GBV in the community.
Because the question was, when are we starting the knockout? So she said, I hate it. Or you can say your clip. You say the knockout are starting today because yesterday we concluded stages.
Okay, thank you so much.
Check that information, please.
Like we said, we apologized for that. I hope even other viewers are able to get that. So we are yet to, thank you. We are yet to conclude with the group stage and having the knockout stages. So back to our topic. If you are following our program, really, you can just join us on this conversation of the GBV issues. Yesterday, we covered a story on the murder case that happened right there in Chunga, in Ngombe compound, where a couple had these differences, and one of them happens to be the girlfriend, or was it a wife?
Girlfriend.
A girlfriend.
Who was allegedly killed. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly is a better term to use. Allegedly killed by the boyfriend. And we are told this boyfriend was really clinging to.
And you know what surprises me, Alex, is that in most scenarios, you find that the man is working, the girl is not working, and the reason the girl entertains the man is because she's dependent on him. But in this case, it was the opposite. According to the neighbors, they said the girl works as a maid or the man does not work. And you can wonder why she is still entertained, the man. So now that raises
that's why I asked how easy it is. Maybe as a female folk, you can help us to get out of an abusive relationship. Because me, I'm having a sense of you are used to be with this person. Like I was expressing before the caller, like, it's not really bad. The guy is not really bad in terms of, you know, holistic view. He's a good person.
Yeah, he has mood swings, like I said.
He's a good person.
There are times when he's an angel, then he snaps into a devil. Then a time he becomes an angel again, you forget
he
the bad.
compensates on the devil part. There are compensations in this relationship. So you feel like, okay, he slapped me quite well.
Maybe it was my fault.
But today we're having a dinner and like such compensations.
And that's why, you know, abusers actually make you feel like it's your fault.
Oh.
That's how abusive relationships are. They make you feel like it's your fault.
Apologizing for what? I'm sorry you slapped me.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's something that the church has to look into. Civil society organizations have to look into those that deal with gender issues. Have to look into this. Maybe community sensitization could be the best approach. Sensitizing people on the dangers of abusive relationships and all that. And so I would like to hear your calls. We were from playing a story from Ngombe compound where a case of GBV allegedly led into a murder. A girl was murdered, or a woman suspected to be in her mid-20s was murdered. Was allegedly murdered by her boyfriend in a case of alleged GBV. So I would like to hear your views on GBV in the community.
They would never describe this person as a jealous type who would actually follow up the girl when she's even, you know, getting stuff from the stores. He would be behind her to say, no, I'm just following you. I don't want you to be alone. Such things. Such things happening still in our communities where this person doesn't just want to let go even other activities of the person.
Yeah, because the neighbors are saying if she goes 5 minutes to the shop, she has to follow her. Or if she takes too long, she's coming to receive a beating. So that's the scenario.
The neighbors were seeing this.
They are seeing that they didn't report. That is.
So what's the best route to take? Like when you notice something, you go to the police?
Because I'm sure you know how communities are. When people see that, you just talk among themselves, you know, as women. Raja, what. But then you're actually supposed to take a step beyond that. Or maybe approach the couple or something, or maybe approach the person who's being abused, because abuse can go it can go both ways. It can be the man being abused, it can be the woman being abused. So I think the best approach is to approach the person you suspect is being abused and ask them. If they're not willing, if you see that the situation is bad, report to the relevant authority. Just alert them of what's happening so that they can know what steps to take.
It's important. You don't just leave these things to the activists. I mean, we have a role to play, everyone in society, to make our society better. So if you notice something very, you know, strange about a certain couple or a particular house, you take interest and just, you know, report, if anything. I don't know if it's the best way is to report to the police, or maybe have a conversation with the couple and find out what is causing these differences, and then you go ahead. If they are not listening, you go ahead to report to relevant authorities so that they can just take a look on that. So basically, if you've had any experience in your compound, such as fights in your neighborhood, this is the opportunity just to make a comment and we discuss what was your experience. We are looking at the issue of GBV and yesterday's story, analyzing the murder case that happened in Ngombe compound.
And you find that we just came from the 16 days of gender activism.
Yeah,
where some stop violence against women and girls. Of course, men and boys are included too, and then we see this case happening. So does it mean the message is not reaching our people? What exactly do you think this means? What steps maybe should we take?
It's quite controversial because...
Or maybe as the media, we also have a role to play.
Indeed.
In terms of, if you remember very well when we were at school, we were told, highlight the perpetrator, isn't it? Don't hide the perpetrator. Show them, put the light on them, show them to the world, this is the perpetrator. This is, yes, they've been arrested as a warning to everybody else. So that's actually the call from the community. They're saying, make sure he's caught to be made an example to everybody who's in the habit of practicing GBV and their partners to the extent that has been resulted in murder.
Yeah, do we even have issues? The police have actually done a good job in terms of updates, where they are looking for a person who's on the run, and when they catch them, they actually update the community to say we've actually caught this person. So it's quite important to update whenever you are looking for someone, so that people can know and make sure that they close, because closure is very important. You just don't get to be in a situation where you don't know if that person was caught, who killed our neighbor, like such things. Yeah. But this goes to the police really to actually update us when they do so.
Okay, there's one thing I found disturbing, Alex, when we went there. This crime scene is free for everybody. It's not sealed off. Like the crime scene, the crime scene was just protected. What you call Chadiva, you know what I mean? Anybody can go in the house, in and out. It was not sealed the time when we went there.
Maybe they have collected everything, because I did also a similar story in Chainda compound. What happened was, after the killings of these, actually the shooting of these two individuals in the shop, the police came a bit later, like somewhat 10 hours, and then they did the protection, the sealing of the crime scene, and then they went in now to check for evidence. Every evidence was captured and collected. So at that moment, when they complete that session, it's quite a long procedure. When they complete, and then that's when they will remove the... So I'm sure we were at that point, because what time did it happen? 11 hours?
11, and we went on 12 an hour.
I don't think so.
It was an hour, just like an hour later.
Yeah.
We were just called, and as soon as we were called, we rushed.
I'm sure it was just left out there. But
the time we just reached, we were just told, just now as we are leaving, they took the boat. And so that's one thing that I found really disturbing, that the crime scene, like, there was no lock there, like there was just a chain. There was just a chain there, meaning, and people actually they were even asking me, do you want to enter inside, Chan? And then I was like, I don't want to interfere with the crime scene, because but then we find that I may have...
They collected everything that they need to collect.
They said they moved the body, took it to the mortuary.
Just the body?
Just the body.
But how would they establish the...
So maybe that's something that I'm hoping maybe we can get a response from the police.
Yeah.
In terms of maybe how are crime scenes handled in Zambia. If you find that in USA, if you watch those documentaries, crime documentaries, you find that the place is sealed off for maybe even months sometimes, because they may want to come back and keep collecting evidence and all that.
And so I'm sure that's something... It's just allegation to say, for lack of better terms, we don't really know for sure that boyfriend is the one who actually...
So we need to actually investigate
it's an investigation.
And convict him.
Yeah. So after investigation, that's when you get to establish the fact that it was actually here, is the criminal. And before that, we get to protect the crime scene, like you were saying, so that we establish. There are a lot of things that would have happened that can lead to the criminal. You understand? So that's why we're calling for such places to be
okay,
actually
we have
protected.
the phone call. Hello, good morning. I think we've lost that call.
Yeah.
Okay, so
well, whenever you're calling, make sure that you actually speak, so that you can just know that we are connected to you. Yeah, and also make sure that your television is actually toned down in terms of the volume, so that you can not have feedback from the studios. So you can call back and interact with us in the studios. But we'll be just rounding off, like we're concluding this segment in a few minutes' time. So this is an opportunity really to actually put across your view on these issues to do with gender.
Because I've noticed that most of the time we move on, then someone will call, no, I'm telling about
that topic.
Issue already moved on because we normally have segments on the same. Yeah, and so Alex, in terms of GBV from the male perspective, how do you look at it? Do you feel that you guys is enough justice being done for you, the male folk?
I think the most progress is coming from the activists, those who are in this sector, just advocating for male gender to
and just
come
maybe
out,
the
speak
theme.
out. Their cases, because in a long time we didn't have the freedom to actually talk about, you know, you're beaten by your wife, you come out, yesterday I was beaten by my wife, like there was those insecurities in play. But now, I think there have been progress in terms of advocacy and also encouraging the male folk to actually come out, speak out whenever you fall into that kind of a case. So from that angle, we're doing better. But in terms of reporting, like you can see even in the statistics, it has always been the women leading the numbers. So we see that there's no much reportage from the male folk.
So that's something that definitely has to be changed. And if you look at the theme, I attended the 16 Days of Gender Activism, the launch on 25th November last year. And to find that the theme says, end violence against women and girls now. So you see, like women and girls.
Okay, those are things that I'm not... Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You're through to Breakfast Cabinet Show.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, great. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling you from Choma, and my name is Monga House in Utaka.
Great. You can go ahead.
My question is the line for Pastor Silva.
Not directly. You are through to Cabinet Breakfast Show this morning.
Oh, okay. I didn't open my television.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you actually thought he's calling Pastor Chiluba directly. Wow. It's quite an interesting. So make sure you're calling using those numbers that are actually scrolling
to contribute on the
scrolling on your screens, not just any other number.
And so Alex, I was saying, it said the theme was Orange the World, Stop Violence Against Women and Girls Now. So I was wondering, like, where's the boys and men in this?
I know.
So it's...
that wasn't right.
It's the same, like stakeholders have been expressing concern, for example, in terms of education. While acknowledge that girls have been left behind significantly, we should endeavor to create a sense of equality, because if you say girls, many stakeholders have been saying we're going to find that the flip side has happened.
I don't know. I'm going to hear these sentiments. I don't know. Even the statements such as the future is female. Okay, for me.
I think that one, Alex, I have to defend that one as a female, because that actually just tries to encourage girls to reach far.
But you don't get rid of the male in the picture. Don't just get
but
rid
the future is female, Alex.
The future is both female and male.
But if you look at, in terms of leadership, I think I would support that theme. But in terms of issues such as gender, this happened to both. But if we specifically say we're fighting against this, what about the other thing? But the future is female. If you see, most political parties in the world over, you find vice president male, president male, and all that.
But
in terms of leadership,
because we've seen even in the previous, general elections, we had parties actually adopting female to be counterparts in terms of supporting the president as vice president. We saw this in the Patriotic Front. We saw this in the UPND. Actually, we have the current vice president.
But women still do not have 50-50 representation in parliament.
Institutions are being led by female managers.
And what was that call saying who should boycott the Kawata by elections? Females, isn't it?
Yes.
Because there was no woman. That was, which MP was that who was saying that?
From
Chinkuli.
It should be. We actually hosted on our breakfast show. She actually called the women not to turn out in terms of voting because
they were not represented.
Yeah, no one.
So I think that's something that they have to.
But again, that's debatable, really, because you guys, you don't come out to declare.
We do come out.
Do you?
We do come out.
But what happens?
We are not adopted.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, it's a story for another day.
For another day.
But for me, my stance really on the subject is that it should be equal advancing. You advance for the female, you advance for the male.
Okay.
Let's just speak that. Good morning. Morning. You're through to breakfast show.
We have not done enough to sensitize the women and where to report, and just to have effectiveness to have that confidence to identify, to say this person I'm staying with is an abuser. We need to do more to sensitize the people in the community.
Oh, yeah.
There is a time where love ends and abuse comes in, and that is how we should teach them to identify the abusers, and to identify what is love and what is abuse. And also the empowerment of women should continue, and sustainable empowerment.
Oh, yeah.
Not just empowerment of hand to mouth. Because when I have my own money, I am standing economically, I cannot allow someone to abuse me.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think that's quite...
so she's saying they need to be sensitized about where to report and also be empowered sustainably.
Yeah. But she has also mentioned one thing that I'm interested in, love. You know, you find that you're taken mostly by emotions, and you don't look at the other side of a relationship. But she's actually saying, past that level of emotions and get to study your relationship. Is this relationship safe for me? Is this relationship abusive? And when you do that, you'll be able to determine the future of that relationship. Not just to say I'm in love and you just, like we were saying, you feel that you're comfortable with that person and you've been with that person, he's been supportive in other areas and you feel he's the one, but he's also slapping you, he's also, and you know, abusive relationship is not just about the physical, you know, abuse, but there's also emotional. How does it come out when he's speaking to you? Does he respect you? Such things, you take note of that. Those are what they call red flags of a relationship. So it's important that the women folk, not only the women, even like I'm saying, even the guys should have the confidence to actually say, you know what, I'm cutting this relationship because I think it's toxic and abusive.
Yes, what she was saying, differentiate between love and abuse. Because you find that, you know that verse in the Bible it says, spare the rod, spoil the child. I've heard some people using it on their wives, as if their wives are children.
Serious?
I have heard it on.
Wow, we have a caller. Good morning. Good morning. You're to breakfast show. Good morning.
Okay, seem to have lost that caller. And we're concluding on this segment as we get ready to go into our second segment, talking about mental health issues in Zambia. How well do Zambians know about mental health? And we'll be joined by Dr. Teddy Mlenga. So you find that mostly in the community, people mistake diseases like dementia or conditions such as dementia for witchcraft. It's not uncommon in Africa for people to refer to old people as witches, maybe because of the strange behavior. Could it be a case of dementia? Yeah. You find that in the Western world, these people actually given treatment for their conditions, but in Zambia they're isolated, maybe killed, and that could it be a sense of lack of enough sensitization. So we'll take a look at a story that was done last week on an alleged case of witchcraft in Woodlands. When we're back, we'll be joined by Dr. Teddy Mlenga to discuss mental health issues in Zambia. Let's take a look at that story. An old woman was found lying naked at the front gate of one of the houses in Woodlands Extension Thursday morning, which caused agitation among members of the area. According to the owner of the house, she was alerted by neighbors who knocked on her front gate to inform her that an old woman was lying there naked while making utterances stating that there was a lion in the said house. She explains that passers-by quickly dressed the woman, whom they suspected to have been practicing witchcraft, when her journey was cut short after falling from her flying spree, according to local beliefs.
Then after tachoka, mlumendo ndiye zachoka first. sana ziwe vili vonse then amvera chechongwa ta pali mfuiti panja yakwera pageti ndiye mwamene testa bwata choke na vonse manje but na choke panja izwatilesa kusegula gate testa imidira chabepa apa pa mugeti mkati ndiye mwamete zomvelera kuti pali mfuiti panja then popita siniziva nakapena yagwanda ubwanji I don't know wameva ngaziva ni watu wenzeli panja kosi kuiwona uke naiwona genze ichintako na vele vili vonse bamba che batabirako uku babwerera futi pamene apa again after tawatira anointing oil nezinawatira napasa mgaiza watira anointing oil kunchitipempera vonse tenze ipanja jepe benzi bamba na kuchosa na voice kwa mbokamba bakamba sevenzo mbeka benzo kamba tabati nkalamu I don't know
chakuma 05 tapiza jabe wambuya venangu bali hapo so bantu benzo pita manje ndi babwa wavalika ko working suit but benze chindago vivi waonekera watu ati aba jabeve ni wamfuiti basi so bantu wapita manje naine kanisebeza paneba kuzonjera banganitane wabosi ndepita ona bantu bapaka manje venangu benzo bapempererako so cha bati kukamba kwao bakamba cha mumgedi mulingara
enzo chaya nakasoka je afuna mbululu afuna waende che ubwamba yavuta balancing yokwera umwa ataba kwenda kuja abwerera futa abwere futa mbosaba ila paja kamba kamba so ndepeta onera tu mzimaye uyu sali eka uyu.
Witnesses of the incident say the woman was served by people from the group as some attempted to institute mob justice on her. They have narrated what they witnessed. Meanwhile, clergyman Bishop David Masupa says not every situation is spiritual, hence the need to hand over such people to the relevant authorities for assessment.
It's not everybody that could be found naked who are practicing witchcraft. If you are not careful, you may end up killing a person who is not in witchcraft, but they are just mentally ill. So we need to differentiate the two. So as members of the public, let's not take the law into our very own hands. And again, if she's disordered spiritually, this is why the body of Christ is divided, has divisions of various gifts. She could be helped by those of the men of God or women of God who are in deliverance.
A medical doctor, Teddy Mulenga, has called for more sensitization on conditions such as dementia, stating that these are common in old age, but are mostly mistaken for witchcraft.
Has nothing to do with witchcraft. This happens to anybody who is in advanced age, okay? A loss of cognition, that is self-awareness, loss of memory, they can wake up naked, walk out of the house. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. It is what the condition which we call dementia.
The woman has since been handed over by members of the community to Woodlands Police Station for appropriate action to be taken. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the CAMNET Community Breakfast Show. We have been joined by a medical doctor, Dr. Teddy Mlenga. Welcome to the show, Doc, and good morning.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Doc.
It's a pleasure to be on CAMNET TV. It's really wonderful.
You're welcome.
And to our viewers out there, we're discussing mental health in Zambia. We're just from playing a story from Woodlands here in Lusaka, where we saw an old woman who was found naked in front of someone's gate and was accused of being a witch. She was actually almost stoned by members of the public, but was actually rescued by others who said should be taken to the police station. And so we're talking about mental health issues in Zambia. Is it that most mental health issues in Zambia are mistaken for witchcraft? And so we will be informed about other things by Dr. Teddy Mlenga. Doctor, how is the situation of mental health in Zambia basically?
You know, it's a very interesting scenario because the way Zambians look at mental health, the idea of a mentally challenged person for an average Zambian is a person who is very aggressive, dirty, doesn't wash, wants to attack you and kill you and harm you. That's the idea of mentally challenged person. But they forget that there are things like stress, anxiety, phobias, you know, fears of heights, fears of people. All those are mental problems. You find professors are being treated, you know, in our other countries for mental problems. But here people do go underground because their impression of mentally challenged individual is what they call madness, aggressiveness.
The same people who walk out in
dirty,
the streets.
the person who eats from the dustbin, you understand? And that's why that's why the whole scenario is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it even becomes that for someone to actually come out to say I'm mentally
I have referred several patients of mine to Chainama to see psychiatrists, or Clinic 6 in UTH to see psychiatrists, or Levi Mwanawasa. The first thing I'm told, well, this is a person saying I'm depressed, right? Depression. You are not mad to attack people or anything like that. You cannot just, you know, adapt correctly to the environment. So you tell him, no, there is help available. No, I cannot go to Chainama because it's for mad people.
Oh, wow.
And that actually makes the situation worse.
So, how do we help you?
Yeah. That's the only alternative we have.
Yeah, so Chainama for them.
Apart from Chainama, are there any other mental hospitals that you
Yes.
have?
Kasama, there's mental hospital, Chipata, Livingstone, Kitwe Central Hospital, now referral. Ndola, there are plenty, Levy, you know. Even I mean, most of the district, what we used to call general hospitals, have mental,
So could
and
it
they have psychiatrists.
Could it be the reason why people wait for it to get worse and then they are referred to these hospitals? Because at the early stage, they are not feeling the need to go attend any session of mentally.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, the view is that to see a psychiatrist, it means you are mad. Okay, that word mad has connotations: aggressive, dirty. You eat from dustbin. Yet maybe you may have been going through anxiety. You know, anxiety is overly worrying over things. You need psychiatric help, psychological help.
How is the sensitization being taken by these experts, such as you in your field? Have you been doing much?
Well, Zipporah and you have started.
We have started as the media.
This is the way to go as media.
Okay.
Call us, call Mjajati, call Mlenga, call these other fellows to come around and sensitize our people. So this is a start. And I hope many other stations, TV stations, radio stations, can talk over the mantle as well.
Speaking of depression, in Zambia, if you are taking medicine for depression, there's this negative perception that people have as if maybe suicidal, they will try to avoid you as if you've got issues. So maybe how do you think people should approach such issues such as depression and all that?
You know, what I tell people is that the body is controlled by a CPU, Central Processing Unit, which is the brain. Now, the brain, just like the appendix, the stomach, the kidney, can have problems as well because it's the product. The mind is a product of brain activity. So sometimes the chemicals may just be disbalanced a little bit. And then you get these wild feelings, you go into depression, you cannot take certain things clearly, you cannot adapt clearly. So it's just to understand that the whole body can get sick, from the mind to your liver to your kidney. Some people want to leave out the mind, like it's excused. It's never excused. It can have a lot of problems. There are people who cannot appear, who cannot climb, you know those escalators? Yes, they try to step, they come back.
And they say, no,
yes, but it's not. It's a phobia. It's a psychological problem that needs help.
Fear of
Some
heights.
people cannot go upstairs into a building. They feel like they are falling, you know, that's a phobia. Some people cannot go into malls where there are a lot of people. That is a psychiatric problem. But you tell someone, no, I'm not mad. So,
I will not go and get
I
help.
can't go and get help, I'm not mad.
So at which point did we, are we seeing this problem coming in terms of interpretation of the psychiatric arrangement to confusing to madness? Where did we get wrong as a country?
Where did we get wrong? Education. Education and education. So somewhere we are not teaching our people in the system, even from primary school, nursery, we are teaching them superstition.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
We are encouraging to be superstitious.
To imagine things.
Okay.
To imagine. You have heard of senior police officers who have told us that no, they were chasing certain people who were gassing people in Chingola, then they changed into cars. You understand? That's level of confusion we have. It's coming from far. If you are as a child, you are being told people can change in the police confirming the case.
On TV.
And you are a very highly ranked officer, mind you. We are not talking about a villager. No, they changed into cats, so we couldn't catch them. Okay. So that starts from childhood.
Oh, wow.
Your parents and teachers are telling you, no, human beings are clever. They can fly. Fly how? Let's go to the moon.
Okay, so if you're just joining us, we're talking about mental health in Zambia. We are looking at a clip where an old woman was found naked in front of someone's gate and was almost stoned and accused of being a witch. So we're talking about mental health issues such as dementia here in Zambia. And so, Doc, what does it mean when someone has dementia? What kind of behavior do they have?
Dementia is a very sad condition to come across. Not so much as for the person who is suffering it, because when they get worse, they don't even know they have it. In the early stages, they may know that there's something wrong. Later on, they don't know when to eat. You put food in the mouth, they cannot chew. You give them something to dress, they cannot put it on. If they are having something already on them, they won't change it or wash it. If they want to go to the toilet, they don't know where the toilet is, left or right. You understand? So it's a total, it's not just memory loss, it's a total change of cognitive means self-awareness. You are not aware of yourself. You don't even know your name. You don't know that this is Zipporah, right? That's your relative, that's your daughter. You are fearful of them, you are running away from them, you are suspicious of them, and eventually you go into quietness, don't want to be disturbed. So it's a whole complex of disturbed personality. And the person who suffers are the people looking after the person. Because you have to dress, clean, feed, and prevent people from walking out naked at night. So you are going to be awake the whole night. Monitoring, if you hear the door, you have to wake up and see, is my old woman not playing?
Does it just occur now at old age, or we can have a same situation in young people?
Young people. We have dementia in young people, but it's a different thing. There could be some other problems like tumors or some cysts in the brain, you understand? That is not what we are talking about. So it can be there. But the one we are talking about is age-related.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
As you
At
become...
what age?
No, not like my age. Further.
Before you accused you of being a witch in Zambia.
Oh, I've already been accused as a witch.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because of what exactly?
Nothing.
Because of your grey hair.
By my relatives, by the way, because my hair has become white.
Good.
The same people I was looking after and feeding now are saying, actually, Uncle and Bashkulu is finishing us. we should stop going to his home because he's the. You see, this one died. This one died. It is him. He's eating us.
He's eating us. Yeah, like you said, if we change our education system from an early age and look at issues such as dementia and other things, I'm sure our society will improve. So,
Doctor, could it mean that all these cases that we've had in terms of you just find the old woman in the fields, in the farm, or could that be the case?
Let me tell you something, right? 2017, I was in Livingstone. I have settled there because I was educated at Eucharist. 2017, I heard of a woman in the police cells, 82 years old, that they have kept a woman for 4 days in the police cells because she was flying from Sesheke on her basket and crash landed in Damboa. Okay? So when I heard that story, I said, no. How does an old woman fly from Sesheke and crash landing fly how? Which technology? Zambia Airways? Come on, guys. So we went to the police. Senior officers were in charge of that case. No, she should be here locked up. She can't be moving naked. She's bewitching. Senior officers. We told them, Papa, take this woman to the hospital. They tried to say, no. We have to go and find a witch finder to take out the demons and all. She was found naked, yes. So we emphatically, convinced them. They took her to the hospital. Doctor sat down. It didn't take even 5 minutes. They said, this is dementia. She was kept in the hospital a few days. The relatives were called. There's no cure, by the way.
Okay.
Relatives were, but you can look after her. Okay. Relatives were called, explained to them how they should manage that person. Now, that one is fine. But I know some old women and men who have been killed because of dementia, allegedly practicing witchcraft, and that is very sad. And
so then, how do they move from whichever they come and then fall? I don't know if it's falling. Or what are the means from your
How do they move? This woman is in a bedroom. Probably with another relative, and the relative is asleep.
More like sleepwalking or something?
No, it's not even sleepwalking. This woman just wakes up. She's disoriented. She doesn't know where she is. Okay? If she without knowing, takes off clothes, because they do anything without even realizing it. Okay. She wants to go to the toilet, so she takes off everything. Now starts looking for the toilet. Maybe the bladder is full. She opens the outside door and walks out. End of story. She doesn't know how to come back.
So she's not maybe even from.
So she goes from house to. She's moving, disoriented. This house, that house, outside. This is street.
So should it be kept in the home or maybe a specific place? This for them to have adequate care.
Well, in developed countries where you have a lot of nursing homes, the relatives. They take these people in nursing homes where there is 24-hour care, right? In our case, you use extended family system. There is no old woman without relatives. So the relatives must take over the care. What is important is to come to the hospital so that we explain to you what really it is. And that there is no cure except tender, loving care. Because they will expect us to give tablets and the next moment the person recovers. Zero.
Like malaria.
There is nothing like malaria is. Wow. Yeah, so there is nothing like that. It's just how to look after them. How to make sure that they are in the house, they don't stray. Feeding and other things. So that's the role.
You can actually join us in the studios with Dr. Ted Mlinga. I was actually explaining the causes of some of the events that we've witnessed. The recent having to do with the old woman was found outside naked. So this is the program that will actually gives you an opportunity to contribute if you have had such situations around your neighborhood and basically explaining your view on this segment. So, Doc, going forward, what do we expect in terms of reaction in similar situations from people? What would you appeal for?
What you are doing, you guys here, is spreading the message together with me, and it should not end here, because the few people who are listening to us, the next time they find somebody old, naked outside, they should not stone her or take her even to the police. I'm very sad that people are being taken to the police. Why the police?
Because when I heard
even if it was a witch, what the police gonna do with that? What's happening?
You know, in some rural parts of Zambia, I'll tell you this is a fact. My other brother is a teacher, a government teacher in these rural areas, like as well as Southern Province. He says police actually even act on such matters because these places are highly superstitious.
That's the problem.
They'll act on witchcraft cases. Can you imagine?
And they charge you. They charge an 87-year-old for practicing witchcraft.
How do they prove?
How do they prove? You were naked. You cross-handed. Yes.
And in some situations, I've found that these women or women would be found with some stuff of.
It doesn't matter. She can pick anything. This woman is disoriented.
But Doc, do you do away completely with the fact? Okay, do you believe 100% that maybe there's no witchcraft? We've seen some cases where, like Alex is saying,
wait, I'll answer that one.
Like where Alex is saying, we find someone with some beads, some strange items, and all that. Does it mean they're not into witchcraft?
In that moment of being
my question to you is, what is witchcraft?
Do
you think there's a human being in Zambia who can perch on a basket? You know aerodynamics, the air pressure and other things. Do you think an old woman has got enough science to sit on a basket and fly from Sesheke to Livingstone? Really? If that is so, when your grandmother visits next time, don't give her transport money. Just tell her, no, bye-bye, you can fly back. So these things, witchcraft is a misinterpretation of phenomena. When you see something and you don't understand what has caused it, the easiest explanation is it's witchcraft.
Okay, simple question.
So you find somebody is naked outside the house. What is the simple explanation? Witchcraft. But the problem is dementia, but you don't understand it. People die in the families. Meningitis, malaria, COVID, what? No. They cannot die. How can 3 people die continuously? I mean, following each other. Somebody has killed. So it's a misunderstanding of what causes death, disease, and everything else. You understand? Nobody can kill you. You are in Livingstone. He's in Lusaka using a needle. And he takes your picture and then he pricks on you. Come on, guys. If you are so advanced, go to the moon. Show us.
And make technology cost something from one end to
the other. Show us. Don't use UBZ to travel. You just fly.
Wow, that's quite a challenge.
If you can kill somebody at 50 kilometers away, come on, guys. Help us to treat COVID. If you are so clever. But zero. Mukamba, witchcraft exists. What do you do? Zero.
Okay, so Doc, if I'm hearing correctly, you're saying there's no witchcraft?
No, there isn't.
There is no witchcraft.
Witchcraft is in your mind because of failure to explain certain phenomena. Okay, let me give you an example.
We've heard the stories like when I was sleeping at night, I heard things walking on my roof. How do you explain that?
Rats. Those are rats. They are rats. Just go in the city.
What about being
poisoned,
doctor? Like
being choked is a psychiatric problem.
If you
are anxious, you are depressed, and you can find a mass in your throat there, but there is nothing. We cure that one. It's not witchcraft. Let me give you an example. Many years I was a magician and hypnotist. Hypnotism, making people sleep.
You mean magician, not the white man's medicine, but the traditional medicine?
There is no traditional medicine in magic. It's just practice and everything.
The tricks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
So now, the part where I was surprising people is when I call you, make you sleep. Okay? And then I take a needle and put it there deep and take it out. Blood comes out. You're not feeling any pain. So how do you describe that one? For you, it's witchcraft. Or is using medicine, right? For us who are in that thing, we knew it's just a psychological thing where we are using your power of the subconscious mind. The mind which gives you dreams. That mind is powerful. I can operate on you. I can cut off your hand without any medicine. Just by talking to the subconscious mind.
Are you able to still do that?
Yes, I can do it. I can do it right now.
I don't. I'm on a program. Who's going to present when I go?
I'm just giving an example. There are certain things you don't understand.
We have a challenge here. Is witchcraft there? But science really has proven that there is no such thing as witchcraft. And here we're just looking on the story that we did recently, an old woman was found outside naked, people claiming to be a witchcraft, a witch in that compound. So she was actually.
Well, we have a caller.
Of course.
Let's just pick that one. Good morning. You're through to breakfast show.
There is witchcraft.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yes, it is Charles.
Okay.
Thank you. You can go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I just want to say that witchcraft is real. And witchcraft is there.
Okay.
I want to add nothing next. I want to buy the grandmother to the grandchildren. Yes, I want to people realize that she is the grandmother who is there. I want to add him.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe if you can just ask you a question. So, for example, in case someone is found naked outside, does that mean that person automatically is a witch?
Hello, come again.
Well, I was asking that Zambians strongly believe in witchcraft. Does it mean that we should take every case of someone found naked as witchcraft, or what do you think of that?
Mwasango muntu pansi.
I'm sure it can.
Yeah. So he's actually saying witchcraft is real, and from what he has experienced,
you know, the challenge I throw at people who talk like that witchcraft is real, they have got powers to do this and that. I tell them, I don't know how old you are, but do you remember there was a leader we called Ian Smith in Rhodesia, Zimbabwe? We were fighting that. Mandela was put in Robben Island for how many years? 27 years. Where were the witches? Go and pluck him out from Robben Island. You are so clever. Where were the witches? Where were the witches in Zimbabwe when Mugabe was fighting for national liberation? Why couldn't they toss out the whites, kill them by needles at a distance, take over the country? Where are the witches?
I think witchcraft has rules as well.
There are no rules, it's a misinterpretation of.
Okay, so Zambia basically is divided strongly because 95% of Zambians are Christian. So you find that Zambia is deeply divided. So there's a part of religion, there's a part of science. So I find that most people are mixing this issue of science and religion. But then to some extent, do we believe, the doc has already said for him, he doesn't believe that there's witchcraft.
But maybe the question, the biggest challenge we're having, those are actually representing the science fraternity, like doctors and everyone. How do we convince and, manage to plug to that?
I've given you examples. If you have got...
we have the caller.
Right. Let's just get to the... Good morning. You're through to breakfast show. Your name and your contribution.
Good morning. My name is Charles Sanders.
Okay. You can go ahead, sir.
Yes, I want to find out from Doc. Yes, among those people who are mentally disordered, because they have been spoken in so many areas. The loss of memory, is it like a family thing that it can be transferred from this person to another person? And the other question is, those people might be in contact with drug abuse and then they become disturbed. Can they be cured permanently? And the other thing that I want to agree is that witchcraft is there. I believe that witchcraft is there. But if the Bible does record about witchcraft, yes, they call it somewhere like for blacksmith or what. But witchcraft is there, but not every person you see is a witch. Thank you.
Thank you very much for contribution.
Thank you. So, questions to Doctor to do with
simple issue.
To do with the cure of.
And is it hereditary?
Yes.
There is you see the chances of you having dementia if your grandfather or father had dementia is high. Just like if somebody has diabetes, your father had diabetes or grandfather, the chances of you having diabetes is very high. The same thing with dementia. As for the people who are caring after the demented person, if they become confused, no, it's not confusion, it's stress. They are stressed. It's heavy.
So it's another lower.
Yes, now it's difficult to care for somebody who is messing up themselves instead of going to the toilet. Every day you are cleaning up. You understand? They are urinating in bed. They are eliminating the fecal matters in bed. Okay? You wash clothes, they throw them away into mud or whatever. So every day of your life for 10 years, you get disturbed, isn't it? You don't get mad, mentally disturbed, but you get so stressed. That's why we are saying hospitals do help to put you back to appreciate how to approach these issues, how to nurse the person. You need assistance. Assistance can be given. We can give you catheter, for example. We put a catheter there, a urinary catheter, so that the person does not urinate on bed. There are certain things that napkins can be given.
We've handled one, left with 2 questions. Good morning, you are free to breakfast show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is calling from Soccer.
Thank you. You can go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Yeah, this topic is very, very important topic over the health of patients, not with the elders, even the young ones. For example, I can put an example for an individual who just look for 1 minute. With him, he used to have some peace. So once he is sick, he will fall down, he will sleep, and once he wakes up, he becomes a better patient, start behaving like he was before. So when we used to keep him in tolerance with the family members, if they are there, then it is safe. If they are not there, then you will start going that anyhow. At this point, anyhow, people now they will start shouting on me. As young as that means that no is a witchcraft. If there is no one at all to tell people to know that no, this person is not in the church, then the community where you are born will start thinking at that person. Over certain events, when you come to know that no, he has gone missing. By the time you are going to find him, he is already stolen. So just take him out back home. Now, unfortunately, one time to another, he went alone to home. Most people were there waiting. Up to date, 1 year. We don't know where he is. So if at all, this program which you are bringing will come and TV to educate people that when you find a master or that another person is behaving like a master, please don't call that person a witchcraft. And I don't even think it's used to witchcraft. People who say that you may get finished that manage it, what is that? There's some research. So people in the family continue to check the family.
Thank you very much for your contribution, sir.
Quite profound. Thank you.
The only thing to add there with the caller is that young person was supposed to be taken to psychiatric department. Simple.
Keeping him.
Yeah, they were keeping him, and I'm sure they were trying all sorts of cures. That I sense that he had epilepsy and controlled epilepsy. He was falling, and then he forgets. That's characteristic of epilepsy. Or he was mentally challenged, and he needed help. But I think probably, or maybe we haven't been told, maybe they did it he was not.
So actually, the problem is also extended to the young people. You know, they find
no, we are not talking about dementia in this case. It is just a mentally challenged individual or had epilepsy, which can be controlled with drugs. But if you want to go the traditional route, it will still be there for many, many years.
Yeah, he cited
and become complicated.
Members actually calling this same person as a witch, who's actually young, and then they were beaten.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Quite unfortunate. So this is quite a huge problem in our
It's a big one.
Did we finish your answering to the previous caller? We were talking about, we did conclude?
No,
he said we were
yes,
some questions.
The man asked about the connection between the previous generation to you experiencing the same, which you actually handled to say their possibilities are quite high. Now, talking of those people who've actually been using drugs, in terms of they are now mentally disturbed, is there any way to actually treat them?
Yes, we have rehabilitations, what you call is Northside Academy, for example.
Yeah.
They do rehabilitation. DEC with Chinama. First, they do the investigations at DEC. They do urine, they do blood, they find drugs, they send you to a doctor in Chinama. There are other drugs there to help you to eliminate what you have been taking and to make sure that you avoid taking it. We give you things that when you try to take, you feel like vomiting. So it stops you from taking those things. So there are many, many ways.
We have another caller.
Apart from counseling.
Okay. Hello, you're through to CAMNET Community Breakfast. Hello, good morning. Yes, you're through to the breakfast show. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling us from, and your contribution?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Alex, good morning. Doctor, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much.
Yes, just tuned in and seeing the program. And to my understanding, I think Dr. May is telling us and the misunderstanding among the therapists in the communities. Because the way you are talking over the witchcraft issue, other people in the community will not understand the way you are putting it. So it's better you say it in a way that people understand. Because this topic saying there's no witchcraft, it's a wide topic. And people must understand when you talk about the mental issue. And I want to challenge Alex and Zipporah. If the doctor says there's no witchcraft, can you as journalists go and investigate and come out and tell the people to say, yes, there's no witchcraft? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Challenge accepted.
Are you sure if we went to investigate, we would come back alive?
No.
No, answer that. Is it challenge accepted?
The challenge is you go into society, you go to Misisi, you go to Kabanana, you go to Matero. Your answer is witchcraft exists because you are dealing with a community that is superstitious, uneducated. You understand? This is what you are going to get. There is nothing special you are going to find. With our people, human beings can fly, human beings can change into cats.
So you are asking
No, I know what you're. I'm helping you.
No.
Do you go to church? Do you go to church?
I'm a Catholic.
But Catholics do believe in the supernatural.
I don't.
Then they're going to excommunicate you, though.
For you to claim that you are flying on a basket is not supernatural.
They're going to excommunicate you from the Catholic Church.
The challenge has been
no, Catholic Church doesn't believe in superstition.
The challenge has been brought on the table. We will go out there and do our own research, and then we'll update you.
Alex, you won't come back alive.
No, you will come back alive. But all I'm trying to say, when you go to Misisi, your conclusion there is already foretold. You are dealing with people who are superstitious, born superstitious, and they will remain superstitious.
I'll take my chances.
The people, what you do is get your views from Misisi and come and get the views from nurses, health workers.
You know, Alex.
I'll do that.
And also general populace in Lusaka, in offices and what. People have been to school, people can reason a little bit, get that balanced opinion. Now, if you go to the compound and think, can you prove, do you think witchcraft? Of course it does exist.
You know, Alex, my older brother, who's doing a master's at UNZ, actually, in his research topic, he endeavored to study witchcraft. Anyway.
Let's hold on to that thought. Good morning.
This topic is very good.
Good morning. You're to our breakfast show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Abanda and I'm calling from Kafiwe.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You can go ahead with your contribution, sir.
I would just love by starting by recommending the program
Indeed.
Yeah, this is a matter that is trouble. We've seen our mothers, our grandmothers who suffer from such injustice because of misunderstanding of such programs. And how I wish I can also recommend if there was any possible way of making sure that this information is not only at TV, also maybe radio stations, so that even people cannot be able to get this information on TV, can still learn something through a radio station.
Indeed.
All right.
Yes, and thank you so much for that explanation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
So you see, we have supporters there.
So people want to know about it. It's a very interesting topic here in Zambia.
The topic is interesting.
What I've noticed from the callers, the challenge is how do we strike the balance
between religion,
reality that actually I don't know.
As reality, religion and science.
Reality to say there is there might be witchcraft, or science can actually prove there is no such of that. But the interest in this program is to see how do people take mental issues in their society. Do they automatically, when they see someone, what comes in mind to say witchcraft? An old woman is outside, she's naked, she's having this door or any sort of formulated stuff, she's a witch. And that's the challenge we want to actually, through you, sir, get to educate the people.
Sure.
So how best do we, like I said, what's the challenge before us?
Education. Number 2, education.
Number 3, education.
There is no other way.
Are you calling the maybe means of education?
By education, I don't mean in class.
Okay.
You are educating the people. You have heard them. They are
What
listening.
about in class in terms of science?
No.
In education?
I'm taking education as comprehensive. Start with nurseries. Don't tell them that human beings can turn into cats. You are making a mistake. The truth is human beings cannot turn into cats. Simple. If you think so,
cats
are cats, dogs are dogs. Nobody can change. So teach your children
so dog, for example,
to understand things.
Let's get this caller. Good morning. You're taking to our breakfast show. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah.
From Flair, is it?
Yes.
Okay, great. You can go ahead with your contribution. Speak up, please.
Okay. Yes, I wanted to find out one thing. One is witchcraft. The person that we get big research
Okay,
thank you very much.
You've got any question? The
I
person
didn't get it.
faces. So we have a situation
Okay,
where if
from
that story, from the story you did, you find that person outside, this old woman outside, and then she start counting herself, not anyone, she start counting a lot of things that she has done. It's me who killed that daughter. It's me who killed that grandson.
And in detail.
And
It's similar to a story that I did in Lusaka West, where the family says we chased away our mother because she used to tell us what we dreamt of. I'm sure we'll look at that story shortly, where she said, when you dream of something in the morning, she tells us, you dreamt of this, this, and this, and this. So we chased her, and that woman is actually still looking for help up to now. Doc, if you remember, once came to you.
Is the story ready?
Yes, we can just take a look at that story from Lusaka West, where this woman was abandoned by her own family on allegations of witchcraft.
Let me tell you something.
This is not a makeshift bathroom, but the home of an old woman who has been living alone in this shack for the past 3 years, rain or shine. Tisatenji Banda does not know her age, but only remembers that she was born during the time of Hari Mwanga Nkumbula. Miss Banda explains that she came to the farm approximately 3 years ago from Chipata to accompany her elder sister, a wife of the former caretaker of the farm, whom she found was no longer living there. She narrates that she has children in Kabanana compound, whom she feels have abandoned her, leaving her to depend on well-wishers, as she has been labeled a witch by her family.
nenzozi balini kuti neo ninkale kukuno kuti ninkhalirire miliyoni wereremo kusaza kuti neo nintejani nankaliratu kuno nakwasa
However, Mr. Ernest Piri, who is her nephew and former caretaker, says that he, along with other family members, give her food once in a while as they too can hardly afford. He alleges that the reason she seems to have been abandoned is because she is argumentative and exhibits strange behavior, such as talking to herself. He has denied claims that the family has been accusing her of practicing witchcraft.
Iyo 3 years ena ngala kwa bese na yeye ndio ngala but bilimbikira kwa sababu nanga ni mama imani za kitabani nasa ntiru wanaenda kuli kwa bila kwa mene muliri huko siku mama ndiye wale wa place bali na bantu wana kama kuti bakazingala hapo wamene bali wa mai wanaenda kumuzi nini ngati wanamasikia kuti bakazingala mwayiona wamene ili so sidi monga kutati olo wamene munga kandile muli monse siku tukapasa siku mangala tangizo imangalako in terms of labda wangafuna mai manje kwa vile kama kama yambana na wamene wa muzikulu wao sometimes atwa kana na wamene aleta uzatista wanga wamene manezira ama mama kana na wamene aleta uzatista wanga.
Miss Banda says she is appealing to be relocated to an old people's home as she has lost human dignity due to the alleged treatment she has received from her family. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
So that's a story that I did to Lusaka West, I think, last year. And we actually followed up the story last week, Alex. This woman is still living under the same conditions, and now it's worse because it's the rain season. So she's being accused of being a witch because they're saying she talks to herself and all those other things. And so it could be a case of dementia.
Yeah, from the description of some symptoms of dementia, it could be. What's your analysis of that story, Doc?
First of all, let me ask those who are listening to me and you, if they have heard of the term schizophrenia. That's a medical term, a mental psychological term, denoting a mental derangement, where a person claims they are, for example, a president. They tell you, they believe it, and they live the part that the head of state.
I think.
Okay? No, because I'm trying to give you this example because somebody there was saying, if we find this woman, she's claiming that she's the one who killed this one, she's the one who killed this one.
So that's,
I'm giving you an example that mental disease can make you say a lot of things. You have heard Muriokera saying, I'm going to sue Ministry of Health. I have lodged in the papers today to challenge the Ministry of Health. They are not handling COVID properly. Should you believe him? Because he's saying it. So when you meet somebody saying, I'm the one who killed that one, I also killed that one, see, this person simply needs help. They don't understand what they are saying. They are confused.
So, Doc, previously we were discussing whether witchcraft exists or not. I'm sure you've seen some of these traditional ceremonies, like the Tonga traditional ceremonies and all that. They exhibit a lot of magic, or maybe I can say. So, for example, you find that a snake is talking. So, in that case,
snakes someone who's talk.
Have you seen such a thing?
I have witnessed a thing.
Can never talk.
Doc, how does that happen?
It is very simple. Unfortunately, she's talking to somebody who has done magic. I used to eat fire.
So, in that case, how do you explain such a snake is talking?
You can't explain because you don't understand.
What happens in that? Where is the voice coming from in that case?
Oh, haven't you seen? We take a saw, put a human being here, saw them in half, separate. Have you never seen that? Separate, you see? Separate this one, the legs are that side, the man is that side, the torso is that side. After some time, put it back, no blood, person walks out.
So what happens?
Witchcraft? No.
Hey.
Simple technique there which you don't understand.
What's the technique in the case of
right now I can't go into that, but I've done these things myself because I was performing. So where's the voice coming from? You are tricked. You don't understand.
Okay.
And
the snake cannot talk. Simple.
So the snake talking.
We have witnessed these things. You know, this traditional ceremony. So that's which Tonga traditional ceremony is this?
Oh,
yes. These traditional ceremonies that exhibit.
Take me there. I'll tell you where the voice is coming from and take out that
speaker behind the snake.
Of course. Or somebody.
Okay, so I was saying my brother actually, you know, in his research at UNZA, he endeavored saying are going to research on intangible arts, that's witchcraft. And I was referring to our previous speaker who was saying you and I should investigate. So our brother was told, if you investigate intangible arts in research center, you come back a wizard yourself, or you come back dead. So don't just do that. He dropped it and chose another topic.
Too bad for him to believe that kind of, I call it nonsense. Okay? It was
So that's why I'm trying to do a research to find does witchcraft exist. And it was actually
it's quite unfortunate. He should have done the research
to find out.
Let me tell you something. As society develops, issues of superstition and witchcraft lessen. Okay? In Kabulonga, there are less witches. In Misisi, there are more witches. Suffering creates superstition. You understand? Instead of you waking up to go and wake, you start thinking that you need to put a root together and put it in a cup and drink, then riches will come. A person in Kabulonga will wake up, go for work, and wait for the money. This is the difference. The more you develop, the more you move away from village mentality, the more understanding of society, how it operates, becomes to you. In America and UK, Russia and other developed countries, issues of witchcraft are not there. Why? Because people, they know if they need food, they know what to do. If they need rain, they know what to do. They can even make rain. In China, they made the sun.
If they find the old woman outside, they know what to do.
If they find an old woman outside, they know it's dementia. But here, in Misisi, they start stoning the woman.
Okay, Doc, in Zambia here, I'm going to speak as a Zambian. What about in the case of where they say someone has got a lilomba and they say, come and see it in the house, you know?
There is nothing like lilomba. These are just...
So in the case that you find that thing there...
These are mentally unstable individuals who create objects and they think they can affect other people's lives. Take them for psychiatric help. Kwasila.
So they create objects with
I just throw those things and burn
with human faces. See, if you kill a lomba, you've also killed the person.
But to warn you again, if you believe, if you believe that this object will affect you, psychologically it will affect you, it cannot affect me because me, I will just pick it up, burn it. That's it.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen to me because I don't believe in that kind of thing. How can it affect me? Somebody is confused. They make up some collection of roots and what with a human face. They came a human face, and you want to scare me? Come on, I'll take you to hospital. You need help.
It's because you've started.
No, you just need help. You are mentally unstable.
Okay. No. Anyway, in Zambia,
well, we still have a long way to go as a country. I can tell because in as much as we have this understanding. But it's not everyone out there. That's why the need for sensitization like you challenged us to do programs such as these, because the narrative is there already and most people are actually taking this as the truth. Witchcraft exists. Whenever you see someone outside naked, the first thing that comes in your mind is that she's a witch or he's a witch. And basically, that's what we've been looking at. So what would be your last remarks, really, in closing of the program? We've had a lot of, discussion, interaction from the viewers out there with their own contribution and opinions. What would be your summary of it?
Me, I'm saddened. Not today. It's not the first time I'm hearing this thing about women being taken to police, old women, and landing, crash landing. I don't know when you had the technology to fly in Zambia, creating your own aeroplanes. So, I have written a book, I think it was in 2013, when I first came from Botswana and saw a woman who was stoned to death in Luapula province. To death. So as we are talking about going to the police, we are even like, in other areas, they just stone that old woman to death. Until she dies. And for me, it's very, very sad. So we have a lot of work to do. If senior officers, police officers think human beings turn into cats, then it's a very sad thing. We have to clean up all our heads. Our heads are cluttered with non-issues. And like you said, it's education. Education. Somebody missed education. You reach to a level of a senior police officer. Because your education was flipped, you still think that when you are hunting for criminals, they can change into cats. How are you going to fight crime?
as an officer.
So anyway, let's educate our people. Thank you for showing a way, but don't stop. You have heard the activity. One day create a topic just witchcraft. Because I think there is a lot out there.
I hope won't go into it ourselves.
In case someone was actually following up the program, what do they find, just vehicle where they can find help in terms of maybe they have a patient, mentally disturbed, where do they go?
It's high time people started thinking that the mind can go wrong sometimes, can get sick. There is nothing to be shy about. If you see your relatives got mind problems, don't start looking for herbs and what and what. Go to a psychologist or psychiatrist, the doctors that have studied the problems of mind, and let them tell you, no, this is not an issue. No, this issue needs to be attended to. That's the approach.
Well, a medical doctor, Dr. Tate Mulinga, was with us in these studios just to discuss the mental issues around witchcraft arrangement, which has been exciting. Zipporah.
Yeah, it was a very interesting topic. In the first segment, we talked about GBV issues, the case in Ngombe where a boyfriend allegedly murdered his girlfriend. We saw that story yesterday, and we later went into mental health issues in Zambia. How well do Zambians know about mental health? Because we find that every odd person is labeled as a witch in Zambia. So I'm sure we have had a lot of contributions from our viewers out there, and we've heard the information from the medical doctor. We have to seek professional help for these people, and there is need to enhance sensitization on the same. So join Patrick Soko and Sharon Kalimbula tomorrow as they take you into politics. From us, it's good morning.